there, YouTube, the world, the surrounding world. Welcome to the show. It's Conflict and Interest with your host, the Prophet and the Professor. Let's hit it, man. Let's see what Dr. Umar talking. He making some noise outside.
For $1.2 million for 4 years and said, you know what, y'all
He didn't
take
even stay for 4
But
years.
listen, y'all take half this salary and go
$600,000
build a
back
better
into a facility.
relax, go build a better facility for students,
You-
and he got to pay
you-
back
you gotta
And
listen.
after
$300,000.
all that, I'm still going to leave Jackson State for a super white college that got a 1.6 black student
But you ain't let me finish my point.
rate.
How can you say he's about
1.6 black students, which means the only blacks on that campus are the athletes, and you're going to tell me that that's a step up? You sold us out for money, bro.
How can you say it's about money when when his track record shows
He stayed
don't
for
pour
3
into
years.
kids
That
for
was
money?
no commitment. His track record shows that if white people give me the money, I'll turn my back on the HBCU
disagree,
system.
Dr. Umar.
What are you talking about? That's what he did.
I disagree.
That's what he just did.
I disagree.
Come on, man. The reason I'm so personally disappointed in Deion is I thought he was there for a movement, not for money. Meaning, Deion Sanders, the coach of Jackson State, I foresaw a situation where Deion would hire other coaches, other retired black NFL greats to coach other HBCUs. In doing so, you attract our top tier high school athletes to come to
Maybe.
HBCU.
Maybe.
Stay with me.
'Cause Eddie George is at Tennessee
Stay with
State.
me. Stay with me. Football and back. You know, like I know, if you got top tier NFL greats coaching HBCUs, the athletes are coming just like
Maybe.
they was coming for Deion. He showed you,
That's
Charlamagne.
Deion, though.
He showed
Dr.
you.
Umar.
And his other one's just
Deion's
as
one of the most
great.
famous people ever.
And his other one's just as great. So listen.
Eddie George at Tennessee State.
That's one person. We talking about a system, not an individual. So Deion and these other coaches bring all these athletes from high school to play football, basketball, so forth. The revenue of the HBCU goes up, Envy. As a result of the revenue going up, Charlamagne, the schools got more money. They don't have to subject themselves to closure. They don't have to subject themselves to being dependent on white money. You got HBCUs at risk of being closed. I read something that said almost a half of them. A half may not survive the decade. So this was bigger than football. This was about the survival of the HBCU.
It's bigger than Deion,
especially
though, Dr. Umar.
no,
Yes,
no,
it is. I think
no. Stop trying
you're
to.
blaming
stop
an individual.
Trying to, stop trying to give
You're-
celebrities a pass,
but
Charlamagne.
no, you're blaming an individual
I'm not
instead of talking
blaming
about
him.
the issue.
I'm blaming black men for not being men.
But you know what?
I'm blaming us for
Listen.
not being men. That was an unmanly move.
Can you admit one thing?
Deion could have went down in history,
Are
brother.
HBCUs chronically
Pause it,
underfunded?
man.
Of course.
Were they chronically underfunded before Deion?
Yes.
Would they be chronically?
See, with people not catching so real quick. Essentially, Deion Sanders, famous Hall of Fame, one of the biggest NFL all-time stars known through history, right? He coached at Jackson State, did a fantastic job there. He brought a lot of attention, a lot of money, a great impact on that school. A traditional HBCU had top picks top recruits come to that school. This was something that hadn't happened at an HBCU, not at this magnitude. The impact he had and what he did was phenomenal. And salute to him, right? Uh, but essentially, he got an opportunity to what most would see him as a better job. He got an opportunity that doesn't a lot of, I would say, African American coaches don't get in regards to being able to coach one of these schools. All right, it's a non-HBC school. It's a whole different playing field, and so. But Dr. Umar's mad, man. Dr. Umar he thinking Deion's a sellout. And it's been a big controversy on social media on whether or not Deion is essentially a sellout, if he or is this, I don't want to say his right, because it's definitely he got the right to do whatever he want, but should he have taken this position or should he not have taken this position? You know what I'm saying? So what you feel about that? I mean, based on what Dr. Umar said, I give you a little background on Dion. And Dion's a class act, man. He's a class act. He's a class act. He had a crazy impact on that school, on the kids. He did a lot. As you heard, Charlemagne kind of notate. He did things that, where he basically didn't take the full salary. He did a lot of things out of his own pocket to improve the school. I mean, he got sponsors, endorsements, and things there. This school had, I mean, when he arrived at this school, the conditions of the field, the locker room, the facilities was horrible. Like he transformed all of that over, I want to say about a little over 3 years of the term that he was there, and then he got another opportunity. And it seems like the community, the world, well, especially the black community, is upset. Jokers is balling. Jokers is ready to go to war with Deion. Uh, what you thinking there, Mr. Prophet? What you feeling? Sell out, or he had to go get his bag? Well, not even a bag, because he don't even need the money. He's rich. Like he's well off. But this is, I would say, in that industry, as far as coaching and being an athlete, former athlete, Hall of Fame great African American, having the opportunity to coach, one of these universities, one that's rare. So this ain't something like you could just get. Is the statistics on black head coaches, especially in the college, isn't nowhere. There really ain't even a comparison to the counterparts of when it comes to those jobs. So it's very, this is a rare top type, one of those kind of lifetime opportunity type things. So what do you think? He a sellout?
Well, I feel like, well, at the end of the day, with these black people, bro, you can't unite. You can't be unified with them. These are niggas at the end of the day. There's something you can never forget. You want to me to be unified. You don't want me to get paid for it. You want to be unified and deal with a bunch of niggas, whatever the thing is. I'm not talking about. I don't know exactly with him, but I'm just talking about anytime you want to unify with black folks, there's always you taking some type of decrease.
So I mean, he took a pay cut when he was at Jackson State. He did a lot of great things. He brought monies. He definitely brought more there than when he walked away. Dr. Umar is saying that he should have stayed at that he should have stayed at Jackson State. Like that's the issue. He's saying that he shouldn't have left Jackson State to go to Colorado, uh, because Jackson State is an HBCU, and he the impact he could have would have been would have been even greater. Like he could have
For
revitalized,
whose
or
career? For whose career? It would have been great for who? For the black people
it'd
or
have
for
been great.
Dion?
It'd have been great. Well, if he stayed, it'd have been great for the HBCU. That's what Dr. Umar is saying. Not
Yeah,
maybe not
that's what I'm
necessarily
trying to say.
great,
Yeah, that's what
great
I'm
for
saying.
Dion.
That's what I'm saying. They want you always to do what's not in your best interest. They want you to do what's in best interest for them. And the whole time you're doing best interest for them, they are monopolizing off of you. They're not looking to give back or fix the wrong when they do get back into their position. Let's say, okay, I I stay here. I build your college up. What are you really? Are you going to give me everything that I'm going to get if I leave y'all later on after you guys build up whatever you guys going to get from it? Let's say you get $100 million from me staying here. Are you if let's say I'm gonna make 50 million wherever I'm going, and you only can offer me 10 million right now? When I'm finished, are you gonna offer me the rest of the money that I deserve? No, that's not how it goes. They want to eat off of you. Once you come in, come and do it. Come work with us. And while I work with you, you eat off my plate. You be the bigger beneficiary. And today, black men and black people ain't moving. We already see the setup. That's why we are divesting ourselves from the black woman, from the black man, from the black child, from the black institutions, from the black everything. There will not be no more black.
Hey there, Mr. Prophet, man. Calm down, man. You getting a little excited there, man. I see a little bit the emotions. Your eyes start to jump, your vein coming out on your head. Oh, calm down. All I asked was so basically you said that is Dion is he a sellout for leaving, or you said nah he should just go ahead and take the
You
better
better let me
opportunities
tell you something. You
and,
can't.
and go ahead and get
There's
it for
no
himself.
in 2022. I feel like everybody, you better sell out. If not, listen, because you gotta understand. Since integration, these niggas has been as dumb as a doorknob. They are dumb. They have no education. They are freaking idiots. Can't build nothing. Ain't talking about some. Why would I leave? Why would I go do something with somebody else? Because you don't value me, or you don't know my value. And that's what he did. So let me go somewhere where I be properly valued. And that's where it's going to happen across the board. Black people think that they can treat other black people any type of way, or even, and we should just sit there and take it. The thing is, if you pay me enough, I take it. If you give me what I deserve, I might take it.
So
But I'm
you
not
think
getting.
that you think that this move that him leaving Jackson State to go to Colorado, which is we don't know the contract structure or nothing like that, but on the outside looking in, it's definitely a university that has way more resources, that has it has a whole lot more than what your standard HBCU has as far as just the resources, the endorsements, the it's so many different areas, right? So you basically said that, or do you think that because he's wealthy, so I don't know if it's like money is an issue, um, as far as, but you said something key there about I guess the value, like we don't know a lot behind the scenes to know if if Jackson State and the people there associated with the program really made him feel valued. Um, but from the outside looking in, you could definitely see the value that he brought, like what him and his legacy, his celebrity, his network, his connections, how they all played a role and had a tremendous impact on that school. I mean, you talk about he brought live TV to that school. Like that wasn't happening. Like without him and the changes and the things that he made, uh, that school not big. That school not getting ESPN type game day type coverage. That was a result of him. So do you feel, or well, are you insinuating that what's maybe not being seen from the interview or even from what's been publicized is that him leaving is is stems from a lack thereof of receiving a certain value from his own community.
His own community, his own SBU, whatever the case may be, bro. You just gotta realize like this, bro. The more and more and more and more we wake up, more and more we realize what's in front of us. We are all are going to have to divest, and that's the scariest thing about it all. Like there will be no black community soon. We will
But
all be
well,
on somebody else's playing field, somebody else's team, because
well
there
maybe
is no team here.
well maybe
There's a
that's
bunch of
kind of
it's
where
a bunch of go ahead.
maybe that's where kind of Dr. Umar is coming from. It's saying that hey, if somebody doesn't stay or someone doesn't make the choice to not leave, he's saying because to divest, basically you saying like, well, we not instead of keeping it in house and doing everything we can do to build in house, um, you know, we gonna step off and go get the value, go get the money, go get the lifestyle, whatever it is that we can get that we can't quite get here, if you want to say in the community, uh, but we can get it outside of the community. If everybody takes that deal, then you're right. It won't be there won't be no community per se. Um, and that might be where Dr. Umar frustrations is stemming from. That he could have the impact to rebuild the HBCU, as far as looking at it as or rebuild the black universities, if you want to say, and put them on par with the other, if you want to say, the private white institutions. That he felt like Deion Sanders was the caliber of player, person, man, if you want to say celebrity, resource, wealth, networks, to have such an impact that he could essentially almost single-handedly, if you want to say, due to who he is and what's you know his value, could have had an impact across the black universities across the board, and played a vital role into, like I said, at least making them more competitive in the sense of what they can versus the PWIs, which is private white institutions. So if everybody leaves, then that only leads to what you're saying. Somebody got to stay, right?
Nope. Forget about it. This is why I'm with it. I'm with the community changing colors, being a whiter color. I'm with the community no longer being black. Because you know what black have done? Nothing. Done nothing.
But do you think
The
this is the
last
reason?
60 years. What's the reason?
Well, I'm saying, do you think that's the reason? If everybody taking the contracts and leaving the community, then isn't that the cause of it?
We're leaving the community because the community is filled with trash. It's filled with trash. It's filled with a bunch of trash. Trash women, trash kids, trash men. Just a bunch of trash. All
But
what can trash produce? More trash.
but my point is that if all the good apples, if you want to say, leave,
Yeah.
it's no different. Like, all right, get it. Like, all right, boy, I'm from the hood. Soon as I get the opportunity, the whole mindset is to leave the hood, go get you something better. You know what I'm saying? Whatever, right? So if
Get
all
out the
if all
trash.
if all of us that are of substance, that have, or even have a certain level of intellect, gifts, talents, abilities, you name it, resources, even be able to get, a certain level of wealth, if all of us exit, then there will always be nothing left. You see what I'm
No,
saying?
we
Because
start a new culture. We start a new community. Call us the Browns or the Yellows or whatever you want. I don't give a damn. Call us the niggas. I don't care. But I don't no longer want to be a part of that trash. I don't want to be a part of single motherhood. I don't want to be a part of STDs. I don't want to be a part of obesity. I don't want to be a part of this all this stuff that just doesn't, bro. Just make it make sense. It makes more sense to divest. If you stay on this boat, you're gonna sink. You're gonna drown. You're gonna die. You on the
but
boat. You stay
that's
on the wait a minute. Stay on the boat that's sinking, or hop the fuck off and try to save your family and save yourself.
I mean, in the
The boat is
nutshell,
sinking.
in the nutshell, I get it, but I
Look at
guess
the children. A bunch of drill rappers killing each other. A bunch of let's look at our women. Let's talk. If we want to look at it from a real, it's a boat, and if anybody should hop off, it should be the ones with the potential. Let me get out of here. I'm worth more than y'all. I have more. I have more than y'all. So why would I stay here and put myself in jeopardy to lose my life or lose my whatever I worked for?
I mean, there's definitely truth to that, but I guess the big picture is, if 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 the exit is not substantiated on, I'm exiting to essentially go, I guess, to your point, reestablish a community of something better, um, then what we really doing? Because a lot of people, if you want to say, speaking specifically to the quote unquote black community, a lot of us that have quote unquote made it out, if you want to say, uh, I don't I don't see the new utopia, if you want to say. Like the, I don't see new
Well,
Black
the
Wall
new
Street. I don't
utopia is
see
not gonna be Black Wall Street, and that's gonna take time. You just got 50 to 60 years for the little community we will be able to create to be able to do something.
okay, but
It won't take your lifetime.
what about those that exist now? Because you got the Oprahs, the Tyler Perrys, the Jay Z's, the Puff Daddies. These, I mean, you've gotten, if you want to say, black individuals, whether it's athletes, entertainers, who have gotten a foothold into businesses and to high levels, if you want to say, of wealth in comparison to where we originated from. Then where does that translate to? Because it's like, all right, they took the
It
deal.
already started, Joe. It
Where?
already started. You don't even see it yet.
Yeah, I don't see it.
You in your utopia right now. You
Nah,
building. Yo, wait. Hear me out, brother.
I mean, Utopia already.
Yeah, you building it. You building it right now. You building it with the. See how we're doing this right now? We building. We this up from a building. So eventually, you'll have a group of like-minded individuals that you will begin to build with, and that will become your utopia. But right now, you think you gonna build with your whole unity, the whole culture? You gotta go out your mind.
Well, I'm just saying, what happens is so who's accountable for the quote unquote, as you said, the trash that was left behind?
Who's accountable?
Yeah, is it no longer So, because all right, just think about what you said. Like, all right, when the height of the '60s, if you want to say, it was people trying to save the people. So, is it like, hey, leave that trash because it's trash. Go get you some like-minded people of your own, establish something of your own, and leave that trash back there.
Yep, let them die off. Sad to say, bro. Like I love, but I was the one that always advocated for black folks. But then you have to, after so many years of trying to help them, getting bit, you realize you were dumb. You keep going back inside that
So,
in that barrel.
in the earlier part of this show, this interview they had with him, when Dr. Umar says, "Well, hey, he wasn't really getting where he wasn't really making progress
With the
with the
contract.
quote unquote black contract," and then he
Yeah,
left. Hey, well, I'm going to go do business with these guys. And
yeah,
he said these guys got him squared away in like 90 days.
that's right.
So, but I mean, I don't have the tape here, but if I could, I would bring up the tape. You said that's the issue.
No issue because that's what he stands for. He's talking. See how because it's conflicts what he stands for. That's why I said it's the issue. If he's standing on black unity, this guy should take a big old pay cut just to be with black folks. Then you should do the same thing. It take 10 years to get that thing built. It take 10 years to get it built. Because you talking about that black unity crap.
Got you. So, what y'all don't see here on the live in the beginning, when they started off the show, they basically started off asking about the school. Matter of fact, if you click if you can click, it's actually here on the Instagram, and we could tap y'all into that. The right there, the Dr. Umar speaks on the school. I think he might touch on it.
And first things first, man, congrats on the Frederick Douglass Marcus Garvey Academy. I've been paying attention. I see that you got the building.
Yes, sir.
You've been doing renovations on the building. I saw you put the HVAC in, all kind of other stuff.
We're just about done. Electric is awaiting a permit. HVAC is awaiting controls. They're actually at the school right now. Plumbing is just about done. They got one more piece. Fire alarm is done. They got to check one more piece to that. The monitoring system is done. I'm hoping by the end of the calendar year, we can get our inspection and have a grand opening in February, hopefully.
And you waiting on, you got to get accreditation too, or?
Nah, well, your accreditation comes from the state. So it's the state that gives you the license to operate. If you want accreditation beyond that, you can seek out professional accreditation bureaus, but that's not legally required.
What is the curriculum going to look like?
In addition to your required math, science, language, and social studies, we're going to have financial and economic science, critical, how to do your own taxes, real estate, international investments, business planning. Because as we've talked about before, going to college is not automatically a recipe for success, but it is automatically a recipe for debt. So for those young men who want to go to college, we want to give them that ability to do that, but we also want to give them other means of making an economic impact and survival plan for their lives. So we got financial and economic. We have dietary and nutritional, how to eat to live. A lot of your Dr. Sabi type of information. Dr. Laila Africa, rest in peace to both of them.
Pause it. I think they edited this clip because the actual interview, once so what you're not hearing, and YouTube won't allow us to actually play the Breakfast Club interview for whatever reason. They keep giving us some type of error. And they keep taking it down. So that's why we had to switch to these clips. But we'll try to figure out if we can post the initial live where you would see this. That's the actual show, the Breakfast Club, and the hypocrisy that the prophet is noting stems from. In that beginning, Dr. Umar highlights that the issue with the school, or as far as the time span, because it's been a while. It's been a while from when he initially was, had this idea and started this project to where it is now. And Charlemagne kind of asks him, like, so what was the, why, basically, what was the issue? So he goes to highlight all the different issues that they had to face. And one of the key things that he brings up is that even after they successfully got a building, that he was trying to, quote unquote, work with, contractors from the quote unquote black community, and they are the cause for why it's been, I want to say, 3 years, and he hasn't really made any progress. That he was getting conned by his own people, they were scamming him, they wasn't fulfilling work, so forth and so on. And he begins to go into a part of where he says that he didn't really get to get to this level of success in regards to getting the building or the school, as far as the renovations, the electric, so forth and so on. He had to go outside of his community and hire some, quote unquote, as he says, some white folk, and those white folk got him to where he is within a matter of 90 days. So at that point, the voice, the prophet, your host, he said that nah, that's not right. He should have rocked out with the black contractors, or did whatever he had to do to make it work within his community. And I'll let the prophet speak a little more on that. So what was your issue with that?
My issue with him hiring outside his community?
Yeah.
Well, I told you, because his stance is, like you just said about, what's this guy named Kyrie Irving, Dennis, whatever this guy name was?
Deion Sanders, man.
Deion Sanders. He wanted Deion Sanders to stay and make less money and whatever. He wanted Deion Sanders to take the harder route. And I'm trying to tell him, well, then, if that's your stance, that's your principle, that's how you move, then you got to be like that across the board. You got to be like that for yourself also.
So you feel like the energy that he has, the stance he has, essentially, that Deion should have stayed and became, if anything, if you want to say, the black messiah for the HBCUs, and should have been committed to that and rocked out with that. That he should have had that same energy when it came to working with the black contractors and ensuring that the school was a product of his own community.
Exactly.
Well, there you got it right there. So it looks like it almost seems like, and again, we don't have Dr. Umar on here. Maybe one day we hope to have such a voice of himself on here and he can speak to this. But it definitely seems to be kind of like what's good for you ain't good for me. And he had to move on and make some choices that best benefited himself. And it's a lot of people, man, that's in an uproar that's looking at Deion Sanders a little funny because they feel like, he just kind of left that HBCU and did ultimately, despite all the good that he's done, that it was a disservice. And a lot of people, as Dr. kind of relate to Dr. Umar or stand with him in this mindset that, he was supposed to be the black messiah to the HBCUs. And they feel some type of way because he left the HBCU for PWI, which is a private white institution. And if I understand the statistics, like they only got like a 1 point something percent as far as the black students, and that's essentially the athletic program. So people got a lot of issues with it. Um,
Hey, go work with the white people. Y'all want to make money? Y'all want to get somewhere? Y'all want to be able to help y'all community? Go work with the white people. You want to go back and help the black folks? Go work with the white people. You want to go do something for your mama? Go work with the white people. You want to do something for your kids? Go work with the white people. You want to build something of substance? Go work with the white people. Black folks will do the same thing to you every time. Stab you in the back, take your ideas, and run off like a bunch of. I'm not trying to say I'm hurt by y'all, but I love black people.
well, you sound pretty hurt. You sound like you've been robbed a few times. You sound like a black man catch you in your back a bunch of times. Like if you took your shirt off, you got some whelps, like you was on the cross and got crucified, and
Because
you
that's the thing
died.
is y'all want to blame what the white man, but now it ain't the white man no more. It's this black woman and those black men. It ain't who y'all think it is anymore. It's been your true enemy is laying right next to you. Your true enemy is the one you was in the stomach with. You was in her stomach. Your true enemy. Come on, man.
Hey, man, we talking about Dion and HBCU. How we get to folk who they land next to, who was in whose stomach, and this, that,
Cause
and the third. Like, come on, Mr. Prophet, man. You
I
know,
mean,
some you, I feel your emotions. I see your eye twitching, your veins is popping. I know you definitely have a voice in regards to the black community, and I thought you and Dr. Umar would have maybe been a little more aligned, but you
no,
said no.
I'm not aware. No. Hold on, guys. That said I'm against Umar. I'm with Umar. I agree, but I respect all that he's doing. But the facts are the facts. Just stop preaching that crap to me. I will let my kids attend your school. I will help you with your school. But you are not going to tell me to not divest, to stay and die with you people. That's what's going to happen. You're going to die with them. You're going to die emotionally, physically.
So is it not possible that there's enough of us, I don't know, good apples that you won't necessarily have to bleed out and die, or is it just it's just not it's not enough good apples? Is it one of those things that the good apples are so far and few that the only imagery or the only thing that's that's left there as a visual is all bad because I got 100 bad apples and one good one in 100.
Yeah, bro.
I
Because
can't
listen,
I
right?
can't even see the good.
Right? Because, bro, what you'll do is, right? You'll see an apple and you'll call it good, even though a part of it is rotten. I can cut it out. You eat it. Because what, you know,
nah, nah, nah.
but that's,
I just said, look, I I don't know if I want to call Dion a sellout or anything of that. I get where maybe his celebrity, his who he is, his impact in the earth, and what that impact could have had on HBCUs. Um, but I don't know what that would have cost him as a person. I don't know what that I have no idea really what's happening behind the scenes, whether he was valued, whether there was some stuff happening behind the scenes that he felt like he's really not going to be able to accomplish whatever it is he set out to accomplish, so forth and so on. what I can say is this, man. That almost 4 years or so that he was at that university, he completely changed that university. It's 100% diff- different in a positive manner than what it was when he first showed up. We talking about a university that lacked heavily in resources and monies. The facilities were poor. The I mean, even the stadium where the kids was playing, so forth, uniforms, all these things was bottom tier, right? Especially in comparison to their counterparts as far as the PWI institutions, as these other universities. Heck, you know, what I mean, that the university wasn't even receiving uh, certain levels of support from its own alumni, right? As far as I don't know, people might not know like a lot about how that works, but you know that alumni they help to fund you know, these schools in different areas. So you had like he pretty much if they showed the stats on where things were prior to Deion and where they are where they were during his tenure there and essentially how he left them, they're in a better place than where they were. And I gotta salute that. Could he have been some type of black messiah for HBCUs? I don't know. Um, there is this sense though that when it comes to our community, where unfortunately it's like there's always the one or someone that we want to identify that they could have saved us of some sort. Like we have a hunger somewhere deep within inside ourselves where we're looking, I guess, for a savior to come out of the sky. And the moment somebody kind of
That's because it's been
symbolizes,
taught to us. That's
oh
been
yeah,
taught. Bad behavior, God coming to save you, all that bull crap. It's
I'm
all
not
a bunch of horse.
I'm not denying any of the if you want to say programming that plays a role. But that's just a whole nother conversation that layers into a whole lot of other things. But my point is that you see that in my opinion, I see the same thing with like LeBron James. You know what I'm saying? It's like, oh well, why didn't LeBron have this stance, or why didn't they do this, or this person or that? So there is this savior complex, if you want to say, uh, that 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 gets, uh, if you want to say, that savior complex gets some people, unfortunately, once they have arisen to maybe a certain level of celebrity, a certain level of wealth, uh, they get assigned these labels without, I don't think there's a conversation in where they said, "Hey, I want to go be this for this community, and I'm gonna do this." There is no contract signed where they have taken on such responsibility to carry such a crown, if you want to say, of being a savior in any regards to whatever the area is. Today is the HBCUs and what Deion's impact was or is and could have been, and how many are looking at it like he did something wrong because he chose to move on, versus kind of taking on what I would say stems from that complex of having a savior, and having someone that's going to stand. Uh, you know, and I don't think Dion signed up for that. I don't think he sat down and said, "Hey, black community, I'm gonna come save all these HBCUs. I got a mission. I got a goal. Hey, trust me with this. Hand me the baton. Hand me the keys, and I'm going to revitalize these HBCUs. I'm gonna make them competitive with the PWIs. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do that." And everybody sat down and signed on the line, and all of us as a community did everything we could do to put him in position and to ensure like that he was going to be successful and that this change was going to happen. So those things didn't happen, but it's almost like without that conversation, without those contracts, those terms and conditions, um, you know, he's been assigned something and people felt like he reneged on the contract and bounced. Um, but for me, you know, salute to Dion. I don't expect you to save the HBCUs, and you know, go out there and kill it, man. Go out there and make some more noise. And we wish him success. To Dr. Umar, he gonna be Dr. Umar. We got some more clips he want to touch on. Let's go to the next clip. Come on, let's tap in the clip. What we got?
But listen, if Jerry Jones get a pass because he's 14, why didn't Emmett Till get a pass? He was 14. Tamir Rice, Ohio, he was 12. Where his pass at? What about the brother in Gulfport, Mississippi, 2 months ago? Jaheim Jalen, I'm forgetting his name, shot in the head coming out of a dollar store with his hands up. Where was his pass? Trayvon was 17. Where was his pass? Look at all the young black boys who are tried as adults in America's prisons right now serving time in adult prisons under the age of 17. Where they pass at, Stephen A? Why are we protecting privileged white men? And you know what makes it so sad? Jerry Jones don't even have to defend himself. He got black men who will jump up. Did you see Michael Irvin? This Uncle Remus? Michael Irvin says, oh, he wasn't at the front of the line. So because he wasn't at the front of the line, he less racist than the ones who's at the front. Oh, he don't look like the guy with the cigarette in his mouth. Jerry Jones is a righteous man and a great man. All white people were that way back in the day. This is Michael Irvin. All white people were that way back in the day. So we supposed to get Jerry Jones a pass. There's nothing worse.
How many lashes for Michael Irvin?
Michael Irvin get about 5,000 lashes for that. No black man should ever volunteer himself, Stephen A. Smith and Michael Irvin, to play defense attorney for a white man. Jerry Jones ain't thinking about black folks. He has yet to speak up on social justice issues. He is a racist, and he should be forced to sell the team. But it's not going to happen. Why? Because it would take the players of the NFL to protest to force him out. And we already see that our NFL athletes and our NBA athletes don't have enough courage. They're more concerned with money than they are about the movement. And that's why I'm disappointed in Deion Sanders.
Hold on one second. I don't think there's no defense. I know. I don't think there's no defense for Jerry Jones.
And there's no defense for Stephen A. Smith and Michael Irvin defending him either. Let that white man speak for himself.
And I like what
y'all don't take up for black people like that. Stephen A., you threw Kyrie under the bus. Shannon Sharp, you threw Kyrie under the bus. But soon when a white man mess up, and Shannon didn't defend Jerry Jones, but Stephen did, and Michael did. So when a white man make a mistake, every black man in sports media want to be defense attorney for white folks, but have no problem throwing black athletes under the bus.
And I like.
You're muted.
I mean, this is a touchy one. And Stephen A's been in the hot seat for a lot of his takes when it comes to, if you want to say, some of these kind of racial issues, if you want to say, or he's in a hot seat with the black community, if you want to say. And if you check the Twitter comments, I mean, Joker just going so far to say he's cooning, he's this, he's a house nigga, he's Samuel from Jingo type. They not happy with him. What I will say, and just for people that may not be familiar, so essentially Jerry Jones, there was a picture that came out. I want to say the Times. But anyhow, a news indicate got a picture of Jerry Jones. Essentially, he might have been around 15-ish, somewhere between maybe 14 and 16 years old, where he is involved in what appears to be, well, not appears, it's known that it's a protest happening. And this protest is like the integrating of blacks going to the white schools. And Stephen A. pretty much came out with a stance like where people felt like, nah, we don't care if he was 15 years old or what have you. Stephen A. kind of, it felt like he didn't give it a certain energy that people would have liked. Like he didn't really attack this thing. And it seemed like at least based on, I don't want to put words in his mouth, but my perspective was that, or my thought is that, he was kind of towing this line of him being a kid, and it's all these years ago. you know, who knows really what was happening, what his thoughts were. You know, this is a kid that's caught up into, you know, kind of like whatever the societal norm is at the time, right? Um, and Dr. Umar ain't with it, man. And there's a lot of people that ain't with it. They're not with any of that static right there. They saying no, and their reasoning. Uh, some of it's because of they feel like, well, you had a stance on this and you had a certain level of energy on these issues. You should be giving this guy a certain energy, a certain response. And as Dr. Umar said, well, Jerry Jones don't need no black lawyer. You know, he don't need no lawyer. He don't need you lawyering for him. Um, and I mean, I gotta agree. I feel like, man, when it come to these things, if my issue would be that if it was an African American or a person of color, um, yeah, it's hell and damnation. There's a whole different response to even a mistake or a mishap. Like like you take like a guy like a Mike Vick who ended up losing everything, went to jail for a couple years, uh, and this was behind some dog fights. You know what I'm saying? And you see others who have committed heinous crimes. And I'm not nothing against animal rights and dogs or anything like that, but people have killed people, have done, you know, things that if you had to measure, you would say this is probably worse than that. And they did not receive the response. And this is what this kind of comes down to. It's kind of hitting on that to where, like, if a certain group or certain, if I don't even want to say a certain group, but if you're an individual of a certain caliber, because now you speaking of like a Jerry Jones, this is a billionaire. This is a billionaire Caucasian man who is wealthy. He's well known, well connected, and it kind of is like when certain individuals of a certain caliber or class are associated with certain things, they not getting hit with the outlash and energy that someone else who isn't of said class or wealth or even if you want to say color would get. So that's where I feel like the negative energy towards Stephen A. That's where that's coming from, and I would have to align with that. But again, to me, it's like this thing where we want those of us who are whether no matter what industry they in, whether it's media or you take the Deion Sanders, if it's us, someone of our community, of our quote unquote class of color, we want them to stand with us, you know, like. But these jokers ain't signed no contract to say that they with us, and it kind of comes down to your point where okay, whoever Stephen A. is, wherever he comes from, he got out, man. He like you said, man, you said leave him and leave the trash behind. So maybe that's where he at with it, man. I'm out here. I'm doing media. You know what I'm saying? I'm doing my media things, making my
After
media.
so many times, after so
Yeah, you
long.
know what I'm saying? And I'm as not see me. I'm not saying he's a coon because I don't know him. I don't even know him to really speak on him like that. But that go get your bag and get off this boat. Leave them jokers back there. You know, that what the prophet said. Leave that trash, go on, leave that trash, hop off that boat, go do you. That what you said. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, maybe to some degree, that's where Stephen A is at with him. Like, man, listen, man, I'm not talking about Jerry Jones and no bad. This is a billionaire. This guy has an impact and he has an influence on Stephen A's job because he's that caliber of a guy. He's an NFL owner. You know what I'm saying? Stephen A is a sports analyst, talk show host. He
Mm-hmm.
get this talking too crazy, man. Man, Jerry Jones messing around, make the call, and they have to Stephen A have to go figure out like, hey, he sent Stephen A back to that boat you was talking about. That boat you said that was sinking, he said it going back. Listen, he won't be able to get a job in TV. He'd be back trying to find a cut like. So I don't know because again, I'm not back there behind the scenes to see how these things really work. But again, Jerry Jones is a very high influential individual. He's wealthy. He's real wealthy. We ain't talking that little baby rap money. This is a real billionaire. He comes from money for real. And he's in a protected class. Heck, he's definitely, and maybe in some degree, he's closer to that 1% than we are.
Mm-hmm.
And he got power and influence. So I don't, those are factors. But like I said, as the prophet said, jump off that shit, man. Leave that trash, man. Go out there and do whatever you gotta do to get that bag, and go build your own little utopia. So that could be where we at with it. Yeah, I mean, Stephen A. and others, Michael Irvin and all these others. You know what I'm saying? Like listen. They said, listen, the boat's sinking over there with y'all. Uh,
Yep.
you know what I'm saying? But that's what Dr. Umar is getting at. He is again. You know how he is. He on his black or nothing else, and he got a problem with Stephen A. But I know the prophet's the prophet with all he with all that. Don't worry. He with Stephen A. Y'all. I just want to let y'all know. Don't get it twisted. He said, what he say? Who he say? Leave that trash. Leave that trash and go do you. Go work with what you say. Go work with the white people. Is
Right.
that what you said?
They'll
Go,
judge you anyway. They'll talk about you anyway. Stab you in
go,
the back anyway. If you stay with them or leave them, no matter what, they'll treat you the same.
go.
They treat you better if you go mess with the white man.
Sure. Listen. You gonna have some people looking for you, man. You think Stephen A got problems? Dr. Dr. Umar he about to come for you. He coming for
Oh,
you
man.
next. He coming for
Listen,
you next.
I got his number. He got my number. Give me a call.
Listen, Dr. Umar. Now he bumped no call. This ain't gonna be the nah.
Listen,
You telling the black people, jump off the ship, leave these folk, leave that trash, go ahead, go, leave, go. Oh man. Oh man, Dr. Umar got us going this morning. Let's hear a little bit more of what he got going on, man. Next clip.
But the point that I'm making is that the LBGT Army,
Nah, play the first one first.
But the point that I'm making is that the I've always been a fan of Dwayne Wade, but when that happened, coming from I'm a certified school psychologist. My doctorate is clinical psychology. His son is 12. That is pre-puberty, puberty. That is the age when you start finding yourself attracted to girls. But for the life of me, I'm trying to understand how an 11, 12-year-old black boy is already certain that he's gay. That is not a natural human phenomenon. Not how can your son be certain at 12 that he's gay? That's a conversation I would love to have with Dwayne Wade. The age confuses me. Now, if he was 17, 16, that's different. 11 and 12, he don't even have a fixed identity yet. Your personality isn't even fixed at 12. How can you be certain you're gay? What in the hell is going on here?
You see, what I see in this is an attempt to take personal, private matters and use it to promote something else. And that's where I hold Dwayne and Gabrielle Union and any other adult involved in this, because if you have a son or daughter who's struggling with your sexuality, that is a personal family matter, and y'all deal with it privately.
The reason
but
it's being
you turn it to a marketing strategy. Now I'm looking at you differently.
The question is why? Okay, we had dinner last night at U Street. I teach a class on Pan-Africanism. Last class was Garvey's birthday yesterday. We chose DC so we could visit Frederick Douglass House, Carter G. Woodson House, Benjamin Banneker House, African American Civil War Museum.
Pause that, Joel.
As we walking down the street.
Hey. I mean, I'm gonna let the prophet go first. Though. What you think about the first family? The Wades. They are probably, man, the first black family, at least that we are aware of, where this is like a thing. Like they have a legit daughter. What do you say? 12, 13 years old. that, well, no, I don't want to mistake this, but I want to say
11, 12.
11, 12, but is originally a boy by birth. The gender was a male. And at this stage now, fast forward 12 years old, 11, 12, this male has embarked on the transformation of essentially becoming a female and is identified within the household and to the public as a female. Whole new name, whole new look. Uh, this is probably the first black family of Transamerica. Uh, what you say, Prophet? You know let's see, let's see what the prophet said about it.
I'm in a utopia. They don't. That don't help them bother me. All right, guys. You guys want me to be real, or you guys want me to play the game? I can play the game with y'all and say I can go along with everything else that I've been saying. But honestly, I stand on what I stand on. I stand on the truth. I stand on. Everybody has their right to do what they want, right? Even if it goes against how I feel or what I want for you. You know. So again, Dwayne or Gabrielle Union, my personal thoughts that these niggas is crazy. Personally. But I'm not personally invested into this. So I don't really have too much. I gotta respect them for where they want to run their household, when they want to raise their kids. Because listen, this is what I'm trying to tell you. These are the niggas that I'm talking about. This because you got money, I mean you're not trash. So I'm trying to say these are the same niggas I'm talking about. Leave these niggas alone and get on to find yourself some like-minded niggas y'all can build together with. I'm serious.
Oh man!
Trying to build with trash, you're only gonna build more trash. And as you can see, with these two.
So do you think the imagery though, as far as for like, cause not for nothing, man. I'm as
they Zionist, but go
ahead. I follow D Wade. I know D Wade from basketball. Tremendous basketball player. Was definitely a fan of his game. Um, heck, in the realms of basketball and as an athlete, man, high regard. You know, again, I don't know him personally. We never talked, never we didn't share no paths of where our lives could ever cross paths. No way, no shape, no how outside of me attending a basketball game and seeing him play and seeing his talent on the floor, if you want to say. And again, another same thing with like a Gabrielle Union. She's a black actress, one of our, we might even want to say, a black royalty when it comes to just our actors and making black films and films that we love and care. She's we love and respect her. So this right here, I mean, just to speak to, I mean, and to your point, I mean, whatever they do behind their gates, that's their life. It really don't have an impact on my life. But I will say I guess to speak on what Dr. Umar is saying, it is definitely, it's just like, wow, someone at 12, like that's, do you even know yourself? You know what I mean? At those ages. And I can't speak for their child in particular, but I can speak for myself personally. Um,
Even though I don't talk about this stuff, but he is nothing more but a sacrifice.
I mean, that's a whole other level of conversation. That's a whole other conversation. That's a whole other conversation. But just to the snippet here of this exchange with Dr. Umar, I mean, it definitely does bring a question to play. Does a 10, 11, 12-year-old, Do they know these things? Like, are they that acquainted with themselves that that these kind of major life decisions can be made? And I'm to me, when me being 10, 11, and 12, I look back on my life, who I was then, the things I liked, the things I identified with, it's dramatically different as a grown man. You know what I'm saying? Such at 10, 11, some of the even from whether it was cartoons, games, just the stuff, things that we were into and doing, none of that stuff. I'm not a, I don't identify with any of those things now. And if so, but the pleasure about being a youth is that you can actually have the space to grow into who you are. You see what I'm saying? Like it's like what happens to that? Like because it almost sounds like or feels like that this decision for this male
How
to be
about this one? Black men or black stop having sex with other black people. Whoa, that was a deep one right there.
what are you talking about? Like where did that come from? So now we should mate with each other? Like where does
But
that's the
obviously,
problem?
let's go
That's
to
the issue.
wait a minute, brother. Let's go to all y'all mates. Let's look at all y'all kids that y'all are mating with. Let's look at all the kids. Let's look at them.
Okay.
Y'all black folks, y'all mating, right? Y'all produce kids with no nuclear families. Y'all produce kids who become drill rappers, homosexuality. They come with, you know what I'm about to say, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. They do not grow from you guys procreating together. They literally are at a lack because y'all procreate together.
All right, so who should they procreate with?
If you wanted to be a dark-skinned person, like a melanated person, go out the country, get your passport, bro. Become a passport, bro. The girls out there are submissive, and they all just want money.
Well, my point is that how does that play a role into the product? Like you said, don't mate with black men should not mate with black women.
Black women don't mate with black men.
And they should go out the country and go mate. But the reality of it is that no matter who you mate with, they still black. Like, bro,
wait.
They're still black.
Wait, let me say it like this, and y'all getting all y'all colors mixed up. The fact that y'all know black only really applies to black Americans. But we talk about the American culture. You procreate with American culture, you are making an abomination. Listen, this live stream out is messing with y'all. Listen, man, don't take me serious.
Nah. I think we tapping into what he really feel, what he really think. Cause he came out of nowhere with that.
Just think about it though, right? You have kids with a black man or a black woman. The rate that you are not to be with your kid from birth to 6 to 2 years, from 6 months to 2 years, you are pretty much prone to not be with your kid in the same household, the mother or the father. And especially if the woman is educated. The woman with the college, you got a 90% chance she gonna leave you behind. 80% chance if she's not educated. Still high.
Man, we gonna need you to produce these statistics for the people, man.
Y'all can take y'all time to go look this stuff up. Listen, man. Y'all take the time to look up the STD rates in y'all community, the people that can read who cannot read in your community, how many single mothers is in your community, how much obesity is in your community. Come on, man. If y'all don't care about those top things, your community, the boat is going to continue to sink. The boat is going to continue to sink. And you will find people continuously hopping off your boat to go to the next boat so they don't drown. This is survival. The fact is, You don't play the game to survive. This is facts.
This is the facts.
Am I lying? Can you prove me wrong?
Hey, man, y'all out there in the world, man. Y'all gotta come and have a conversation with the prophet, man, because he said y'all trash.
Whoa.
This guy.
I'm trying to say, wait, let me hear that. When I talk, guys, I do not talk in absolute.
Hey, look.
Hear me out. One minute,
guys. Sound like Kanye West now. What do you have to say?
Wait a minute. Let me mute you because you get out of control. Let me say this, guys. I do not talk in absolutes. I do not talk in absolutes. I talk in the majority, not the minority. So if it does not apply, what they say, let it fly. Okay? So if you're not a single mother, stop thinking I'm talking about you being a single mother. If you can read, I ain't talking about you. If you're not obese, if you are, check yourself. That's all I'm saying.
Oh man, all I got to say is, man, listen.
Because you see what happened to our kids. You talking about, oh, why would we create with them? Look at her. This is a prime example. Why would you not make another black baby? They coming out to be homosexuals, faggots. I mean, you can't say this on. I can't say this on the panel, but they turning to be freaking taking up the butt little boys and girls who don't know what they are. They playing both sides. The thing is, we want to play like it's a joke, but this is serious stuff. And that shows the black community is just a big old joke. It's a big old joke. It's everything that's literally killing y'all. Y'all think about it as they don't mean nothing to you. But if I ask you about Beyonce, Kanye West, any of these stupid behind goddamn artists who's there to distract you, you can tell me all day, all about them.
But is it possible for I guess 2 non-trash black people to produce a offspring that's actually strong and smart and healthy and
there's
wise.
a possibility for 2 trash people to make to produce something great. I'm not saying that you can't produce something great because you were trash. But what I'm trying to say, if you look at the numbers, in reality, we want to make it work, but why? If the number's saying I got so much high rate, I have a high rate. All right, it's like this, right? If I eat pork, if I eat so much oil, I have a high rate of what?
High cholesterol and stuff.
All right.
Diabetes.
Exactly.
High blood pressure.
Right. So if I understand that, what would be the best thing to do? See, that's the thing is, black folks know better, but they don't do better. They got them. They know what they're supposed to do, but they got ADHD. They can't do it all at once. They can't. They know, but they can't do. They do, but they can't know. It's like it's a conflict.
But I want to say, you said that. So let's just help bring some because I don't want to make it seem like you got you hate the black woman or you hate black people.
I'm black. I have a black child. I have a black mother. How the hell can I hate black people? Y'all guys are crazy. You even come with that type of mind, that thought process. How can I hate you black folks? No, I love black folks. I just want the best for y'all. And if us being together ain't the best for us, well, we gotta go.
So is it us not being together, or is it the American system, the American culture, that's the issue? Because there's an American ideology that's at play here that plays a role into what the product is for everybody. You know what I'm saying? There's definitely a truth of some systematic things or thing that's I'm just because you brought up, you said I don't want to say, hey, it's not to mate or not to procreate with black people, but you said not to procreate with American. So when you say American, that to me,
70%. Okay, you can procreate with 30% of Americans. 70% of those other ones, or toward the black ones anyway, they have problems. They have no daddy, no mama. They got some type of problem that you're gonna have to take on. Your life is gonna go down, not go up. This is a fact. Even if they go college educated, whatever you may think they are, they have a problem. They have not seen a therapist. I have a therapist. See, things that they don't do. See, I know the problem because I've been there. I've been so frustrated. I want to kill. I want to fight. I want to hurt everybody. No, because you're dealing with it. You got a problem. You got to go talk to somebody. You got to go get a coach, a life coach. You don't get yourself a life coach, so you get yourself together. So you can have not 70%, but the number down to 50%. Then you got 50% of people that you can procreate with. But when the number is at 30%, my guy, you're going through a needle in a haystack. You're never going to get it. By the time you're 40, you'll be an old man with just one baby. You had just one. Well, but with a fruitful legacy, how fruitful is that? And that's the problem. The black woman isn't coming ready to be a mom, ready to take on the responsibilities. The black man isn't coming ready to be a father, ready to be a man, standing on man principles. That man is so filled up with a bunch of female tendencies, he ain't no man. He act like a man, talk like a woman, act like a woman, but have the visual look of a man. But he doesn't. Nothing he does says I'm a man. These men are 30 years old, 40 years old, still living in their mother's house. Talking about she gave birth to me. It's her job. Motherfucker, you are 40 years old. Are you out your mind? Oh, when she died, I'm gonna get the house. I'm gonna get 60,000. I'm gonna get 100,000. You worry about that. You worry about that. Well, that's what I say. Divest.
Hey, the prophet has come with his teachings. His teachings. He poured out his Bible. I don't know what the name of the Bible is, but he got a Bible for y'all joking. And he said that this thing that Dr. Umar said with the wigs is essentially a product of everything he just said. Hey, if you missed what he said, go play it back. He had a nice little 2-minute, 3-minute take there, and he pulled out his Bible once again. And he just wanted to clarify he definitely loved black people. He loved the black woman. It's this. I would say, I guess the best way I could sum that up, it's this Americanism, and
30%.
That we at war with. Because I seen I seen not too long ago in the news where I want to say, and what country was it? But they got like a no nonsense as far as what they believe.
China or Japan or something like that. They doing like a no divorce. You can't be a single mother or something like that.
Yeah, you see countries moving like that. You also see where some countries are like, specifically speaking to like the LGBTQ type things, where these countries are like, nah, we don't even, nope, it's not allowed in our country. This is what we stand for. This is who we are. This is what we believe. And that's it. That's all. To the point that there was some article on social media where this guy wasn't allowed to. I want to say it might have been like the one of the soccer games or something, but he wanted to wear this T-shirt. Well, he had a T-shirt on that had like the rainbow and some type of language on there, and they ain't let him. Nah, you ain't going in there, because of what they felt like that represented, and where this is, like I said, in their country, it's a no. Nah, it's not happening. Based on their belief systems and their government, their politics. Nah, it's not happening. So it would be basically via their law, like where they got the right to essentially censor your behind if you're not in alignment with their certain beliefs. So I believe that's what when you say American, because obviously America is 100% different in that regard when it comes to the particular countries. Uh, so I saw an article where was it Thailand or whatever, sucks their laws. A lady didn't want her child to receive blood from vaccinated a vaccinated person, and they literally went in there and went into their house, took the kid, and did what they wanted to do. So like depending on where you live, uh, the practices, the beliefs, the if you want to say the ideology is different, and because you kind of hinted on something like, oh, well, go outside of America, and mate or procreate with women outside of America, which I feel like that hints or highlights the uh, the American system, the American system. Um, and you think that that's where these issues stem from, man? Well, you heard it from the
Remember, you
prophet.
say systematic. See, the thing is, I don't like to play on that because I like to play on people's intelligence. You have if you have cohesiveness, you understand. You have like the right. You have when you have like, bro. I let people understand that. Just like, bro, when you commit a crime, you have to be trial. You have to be trial for the crime. The crime you have to get a ticket, all those crap. So it's just like that. You guys know better. If you have a brain, so I'm not going to let you get off with the white man, with the white man. No, you have a brain. You have the right to make decisions on how you gonna spend your money, where you go, where you gonna live, where your kids will go to school, how you gonna raise your kids. You have all these rights. Just like the Asian man, the Spanish man, the Indian man, the West. We go all day. And all those other races, all the other people can make the right decisions. They come here, keep their culture intact. Even if not they all are. I'm not saying we're not talking about the majority. We're talking about the minority. Because in every culture, there's a minority of them acting just like trash. Or niggas or whatever you call it. Because anybody can be a nigga. White, black, Puerto Rican, I don't care. It's the way you act, how you present yourself. So I'm not going to let them run off with the Victim Olympics. I'm going to hold them and let them stand on your decisions. You decided to make a baby and not be married. You decided to have a kid with a woman who didn't have a father. You decided to, whatever you decided to do. You decided to rob that bank. You decided to steal that car. You decided to kill Rodney. You decided to do whatever you decided to do, bro. You are accountable. I'm not blaming the white man for bringing us here. I'm not blaming the white man for his system. If you got a problem with the system, you fix the system. I'm not saying complain. No. That's over. That's called the Victim Olympics. And once you guys stop being victims, you guys can take control of your own situation. And controlling your own. The biggest one is your family. Because that was really holding y'all all back. You don't have any family. Any family y'all get, I told y'all, from birth, these are the timelines where she might take your kid and run off. Birth, 3 months, 6 months, a year, 2 years. After that, you already know that after the 2 years, if you make it by 2 years, 5 years max. 5 years max. You make it past there, you're in the green. You're in the yellow. You making it toward green. But as long as you between birth and 2 years, you're in red. At any moment, she could take that kid and run off and say you abuse her. At any moment, she will take. Listen, man. Just point blank, we gotta fix the families. Let me just be more sincere about this, guys. We have to fix our families. If we don't fix our families, we will be permanent trash. Permanent lower class citizens. We be nothing.
Well, look, man, y'all heard it here, man. The prophet and the professor, you know, we always just trying to stir the pot, bring up subjects, highlight things as we see going on in media and the news, and, you know, heighten the conversation or create the conversation, you know. But the goal is always to build, to grow, you know, and positivity and love. So at this point, we're going to wrap up. You know what I mean? More peace, love, and happiness to you all, man. And we're going to try to work out our YouTube technical difficulties because we got like a whole nother hour of show that was taken down. We don't really know why. They said something along the lines of scamming or whatever, but we're not selling anything. We ain't promoting anything. We did touch on some scams based on the interview with the Breakfast Club and Dr. Umar and him highlighting some situations and issues he had in regards to contractors and so forth. So I'm not sure if that triggers something in the YouTube algorithm and policies or what have you. But don't worry, we'll figure it out. We'll get the whole video up. We hope that you was able to tap in and enjoy this live. That's enough for me. The Prophet, you got anything you want to add for you exit up out of here?
No, sir. Thanks, guys, for coming in. Tend to hit the like. Hit the like button. Hold on, hit the like button.
Like, comment, and share. Follow us on all social media platforms. We on Instagram, we on Twitter, we on YouTube. You know, help us build this platform. It should be fun. It should be, you know, a little bit of serious, a little bit of madness, a little bit of controversy. But I promise you, if you tap in and stay alone, you know, we going somewhere. The boat ain't gonna continue to sink, as you know. All the trash ain't gonna be lost. We gonna do good things, right? So go ahead.
We hope, guys. All right, guys. See you next time. Yeah.